Hello there. If you've grown up in the West, chances are you have a very idealised view of how Christmas should be. It's actually a Hollywood version of Christmas. Chestnuts roasting on an open fire, happy families all together, smiling children getting exactly what they want, snowy mountains, cascading down outside of your window as the fire roars in the hearth. But life isn't actually always like that. And the reason that I felt prompted to make this particular video is I was just having a conversation with a friend. She's newly single and she said to me, it doesn't feel like Christmas. And I said, why is that then? And she said, because I'm on my own this year. And by being on her own, she means that she's not with a man. And we have been sold this idea through Hollywood, through like Hallmark films, that if we're not loved up at Christmas, there is something glaringly wrong with us. And I really object to how Hollywood has manufactured Christmas so that it is a very specific way. So it actually makes people feel as if there's something wrong with them if they're not having Christmas in that very specific way. So let me tell you, first of all, I'm fortunate. I come from a large family and we all happen to get on, which is lovely. And we had a Christmas get together the other week and it was absolutely beautiful. But it was also bittersweet. Our brother and our sister have died over the last 2 and 3 years, and it was really hard without them. And that Christmas can be incredibly hard for people who are bereaved and grieving. I know some people whose children have taken their own lives, and the pain that they feel at Christmas in particular is so acute that it's heartbreaking. And so I think that we need to become less pressurized about how Christmas should be. Well, let me tell you, the thing about Christmas is if you're in a bad relationship, Christmas is going to make it that much worse. It's like having a baby when your relationship is falling apart. It makes it fall apart much faster. And one of the reasons why the first working day of the new year is one of the busiest days for people contacting lawyers about a divorce is because of the sheer pressure that they felt at Christmas. And they've just said, I'm not doing that again. I am not having a Christmas like that ever again. And I always feel that it is such a pity that we've been sold this big consumer idea of what a Christmas should be. It shouldn't be that you should feel that you need to be reliving a Hallmark film in order to be able to enjoy Christmas and get the very most from it. I know people who volunteer at Christmas and they get a tremendous amount out of that. And I think, or you could just stay at home and just pamper yourself, whatever you want it to be. But because the point is that it doesn't have to be anybody else's version of what it should be. And the main pressure facing many people is financial. We know people have been through a very difficult time. And for parents with small children, this is particularly difficult because the pressure to get them that must-have toy is tremendous. And I remember it from when my daughter was a little girl. And to a degree, I still feel like that. I still do her a stocking, even though she's in her 20s. I've already done it. And, because I like those little traditions, But I also understand that for some people, this time of year can be tremendously pressurizing. I was having a conversation with a neighbour the other day and she was saying that she can't do Christmas this year how she normally likes to do it. And I said, how's that? And she said that she normally likes to be able to spend much more, buy bigger presents for all the family. And she had been laid off earlier this year. She was sick, actually. And so can you imagine the pressure that she's feeling? And again, that's a very Hollywood idea about what Christmas should be about. The truth is, when I reflect back on my own Christmas as a child, some of the most memorable ones were where we had hardly anything at all. And we were a fairly poor family, in all fairness. But I remember receiving a magic set and it was just like brilliant. And I didn't need, masses of toys or anything. It was enough to know that I was loved. And that's the thing, isn't it? This whole big consumer pressure to buy bigger, to buy better, to buy more is just ridiculous. And, you know, I've been through all of those times where I wanted the perfect cutlery and the perfect crockery for Christmas dinner. But all those things are kind of irrelevant to me now, because the most important things are the things that I already have, which is my good health, my loved ones' good health, a roof over our head, food to eat, and knowing that we are loved and that we love each other. All of these things are an absolute blessing. And when I look back on my more materialistic self, I just think, oh my God, why did I put so much pressure on myself for everything to be so perfect? Even the decorations had to be perfect. And it really doesn't amount to anything. Nobody remembers that stuff. Nobody does. That isn't what memories are made of. Memories are made of, you know, people being happy and contented and grateful for what they have in their lives. And that is whatever you make it to be. You know, the most important thing, I think, is finding peace. Peace is priceless. Once you have peace, which I am grateful to say I have, then everything else just falls into place. I often remember what Nelson Mandela said when he was locked up in Robben Island for 27 years, and that was, he used to reflect on how he was able to find peace within himself no matter what was happening to him externally. And I think that there's a really wonderful lesson to be learned from that. But of course, I'm not making light of the fact that some people are experiencing hell on earth, and all I can do is pray for them and send love out to them and hope that we can get a better world in 2024. I want to wish you a fantastic Christmas if you celebrate it, and an even better 2024. Forget what the Joneses are doing. What matters is what you're doing. I want to say a big thank you to my patrons at Patreon for making this video possible. Your support is hugely appreciated. But I always say this, if you are experiencing any financial hardship, please don't contribute to me financially. There are a multitude of ways that you can help me with my work. Just watching this video helps me. Liking, sharing, subscribing, telling people about the subjects that I cover, all of those help to get the word out. And I just want to send you all loads and loads of love. It's going to be, next year is going to be so kick ass. I can already feel it. I think that we've been through a really hard few years, and I think that the wheel is turning and things are going to get immeasurably better for all of us. And yes, that might be ridiculously optimistic, but so what? If we haven't got hope, what have we got? Loads of love to you all. Take good care of yourself.